my name is JC. I just want to introduce myself first. I'm 20 years old and I live here in Montrose, Colorado, and been here almost my whole life, in and out between parents, but my mom has always lived here. So I want to go into some paranormal experiences that I've had. When everyone asks me what is the most scariest experience you've had, I think it was when I was about 15, 5 friends of mine, including me, all went down to what we call Old Town. And this was basically just buildings, kind of in a strip where people would play poker. There was a bar down there, and this is out in the field at my mom's house where the drag strip was, because there was a racing drag strip for bikes. Yeah, long story short, me and my friends went to go play this Ouija board in Old Town, and it was just the 5 of us, and being naive kids, we really all interested in the other side. My mom had no idea about this, by the way. So we are playing it and it's working, all of us are like, is that you? Is that you? I'm not the one moving it, as we all would. Everyone's freaking out at this point because kind of weren't expecting it to work. I think this was one of the very first times I played the Ouija board. And we're all skeptical, asking were you the one who moved it? And everyone's like, no. Well, I can't remember exactly what we asked it, what it said, but I do remember at the very end we had asked if it was okay if we looked through the planchette, and it said yes. So my friend at the time had taken the planchette off the board, and she looked through the little eye hole in the middle. She's turning and looking around at all of us, and she's like, I don't see anything. And then she turns and looks through the window, and all of a sudden she falls back so hard, and she's just hyperventilating, terrified. I've never seen someone so scared in my life. She had literally just seen a ghost, because she did. It might have been whatever else along them lines. And so she wouldn't even talk about it for the longest time. Finally we had gotten it out of her, and she said that it was just this big black figure staring at all of us through the window. We actually had went and investigated the area, I should say, and there was a giant handprint right behind all of us, in the dust on the chair. Too big to be any of my friends. We were all kids at this point, and wasn't any of us. Long story short, that one was pretty terrifying. So another experience I also had out at my mom's house was one time my friend and I were doing a seance in my bedroom. We didn't know the difference between, we just thought we were communicating with the other side. We had no idea what we were doing. But we had taken flour and put it in a big circle, with us enough to sit inside of it, and then drew, I think is a pentagon or something, the devil's star or something in the middle of it. And then we put candles all around us, and we asked questions and asked it to move the flame to a certain side for yes and the flame to another side for no. And we were asking it questions. It was vaguely kind of working, but then all of a sudden we hear footsteps running on the ceiling so fast, all the way from the door that my room was at all the way to the other side of the house. And it was extremely loud. To this day, that was terrifying. Also, in that same bedroom, it was just me home alone, and we had this dog. His name was Neener, and he was a little chihuahua, and he'd always scratch at my door to be let in. And I thought it was Neener scratching at my door to be let in, and it was hardcore scratching at my door. And so I get up to go open the door, and I open the door, and nobody was there. Nothing was there. The dog was not there. Nobody. The scratching had been going since till I opened the doorknob, and then it just stopped, and it was gone. There was nothing there. That was pretty terrifying. But being, a kid and naive, I did a lot of things like that all the time. I've actually played the Ouija board by myself multiple times. I've played it with friends. I've done little seances like that. I've messed with candles, asking spirits to come through the flames and stuff, to use the flame as yes or no questions. I've played the Ouija board with my mom. I have experienced a lot. I think the very first experience I had was in Arizona, when I lived in Arizona, and I was 10 maybe, I'd say. And me and my family were just eating dinner at the table, and I heard footsteps walking down the hallway, and that's when I knew the paranormal side was real. That was the first experience I ever had, and never went back to disbelieving ever since then. There's been so many things that have happened out there, including, you know, entities showing up on the cameras, knocking, screaming. The hallway at my mom's house is terrifying. So along with all that, you know, the spirit or whatever it is that is out there, and I know there's more than just one, it has a really big toll on my mom. And every time we talk about it, you know, she always gets sick or lightheaded or something. Even though she says it makes her calm, it always has a toll on her for sure. But since we've been talking to you guys about this investigation, she's been really sick. She was actually hospitalized yesterday, which was October 1st. She was in there all day. She did get discharged and she's feeling okay today. But yeah, it's every single time we try to talk about it or we do something with it, the next couple days she always ends up getting sick or something happens. There was also a couple deaths since I've been alive on the property that I know of. My grandpa actually passed away in his sleep on the couch in my mom's house. And then another older gentleman had fallen out of his truck or something. I think he maybe had a seizure, fell out of his truck and hit his head on the concrete, and he passed away. And not long after that, 2 days later, actually, the house that he was living in caught on fire.
I had a lot of work to shower.
And there was no logical explanation as to why. The sheriff's department or the fire department never said anything as to what could have started the fire. They just knew what general area it had started. And we were thinking maybe it could have been kids at the time messing with fire over there or something, but still to this day, we have no idea why that house caught on fire. With all that said, there is so much more and so many more stories we could tell, but at this point, I think it's just time for you and your viewers to just see it for yourselves and experience it for yourselves and kind of see what's going on, because whatever it is, whoever it is definitely real and it's terrifying.